Hello and welcome to E-Magazine. I'm your host, Brenda Nyamichaba. Thank you so much for making time to join me today as we have a very interesting topic we're discussing today, and it's all about understanding what exactly compatibility means, especially when it comes to finding your partner or in general your relationship. And the only person I'm going to have this conversation with today is Nyokabi Kamau, who's a relationship coach. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
How are you doing today? Before you jump into our conversation, let me get to see how you're doing. Maybe share with our viewers a little bit about yourself so they can understand who's breaking this conversation down for us today.
Well, I'm doing well. I can't complain. Although Corona imetusukuma. Some of us, some of us would depend on socializing to make business. We have really felt the effect of it. Other than that, I'm doing well. I'm a relationship coach. I coach people on how to be in healthy relationship. Productive relationships. So
Wonderful.
That's what I do.
And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about understanding compatibility when it comes to your partner.
Yes.
And you're going to let us know every single thing about compatibility.
Oh, yes.
So we'll just start off by just to understand what compatibility is in general. What does that even mean?
What is compatibility? I thought the same thing. I thought, what is compatibility? And what came to my mind, see, I told you I brought a prop to illustrate what is compatibility, because sometimes you need something physical to understand what this person is talking about.
Yes.
So compatibility is how two pieces work together, all right?
Yeah.
How we fit in together. And the best illustration for couples is a pair of scissors or a pliers. Two things that come together at one point and they work together. You apply similar forces, you apply differences, personality differences, you apply commitment, you apply passion, you apply intimacy, and it works together to achieve something. So that is what compatibility is.
Wow. I like how you've explained it.
Yes, how you fit in together. If you're not fitting like this pair of scissors, you're not compatible.
Yes.
So you need to fit in together, but you don't have to be similar and you don't have to be the same. It's how you work together, because you can see one of these is longer. And this one is shorter.
Yes.
One has a longer part for putting the thumb, and the one for the finger, and even how you hold it. So you don't have to be the same, to be exactly the same. You can be different.
Okay.
The most important thing is where your passion is, where your intimacy is, where your communication is, that makes you...
The meeting point.
Yes, that makes you compatible and work together. So that is what compatibility is.
Now, when we talk about relationships,
yes,
where does the role of compatibility come into this?
Everywhere. From how you communicate, to how you relate, to how you spend your time together, to the love languages you speak to one another. All those things come to play so that the relationship becomes healthy. And my needs are met and your needs are met. You're fulfilled, I'm fulfilled. You're happy, I'm happy. And now the relationship is able to flourish and grow into something deeper.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who wants to know this, but what are some of the things to look at in order for you to know if you're compatible with your partner, even, the person you're trying to have a long, long relationship with?
The first thing that we normally ignore is your religious stance or values. Where do you stand? You don't have to be in the same religion, but where do you stand? Do you believe in the same God? Do you believe that there is a supernatural being that is in control of everything? Where do you stand? Because if you don't stand in the same place, that's a source of conflict. And then you'll go two separate ways. You'll not work together. Remember?
Yeah.
So there's also the intellectual compatibility. When I sit to have a conversation with you, are you interesting to me? Are we speaking the same language? I want to give you an example. When I first got married to my husband is very, very aware of what's happening in the entire world. He knows what's happening in Afghanistan, what's happening in Kuwait, what's happening in Iraq. He's fully aware, especially the political effects of it. Sasa mimi, I have no interest in my own country to start with. I'm not even aware who is the governor, who is what. So I'm just living life as it is moving.
Yes.
So when we're having a conversation, he's complaining about a particular person and he says a name and I'm thinking, so Clinton was also, who is Clinton?
Yes.
So why is Clinton a woman? So in my head I'm thinking, so we are trying to have a conversation, but we are in two different planets. So I wasn't fulfilling that part of him. So you would have a conversation with him, he would stress me, he would depress me. I would be very upset because he's talking and I'm busy Googling who's Clinton, which country was he standing as, why is he or she? So he's going on with the conversation, but me, I'm stuck here trying to find out.
Trying to figure it out.
I'm feeling very frustrated.
Yes.
So you see, I wasn't meeting his intellectual need. But when I discovered that I wasn't able to interact with him in general knowledge, now I started watching news and paying attention to documentaries and getting aware and knowing there's a country called Iraq. You get my point?
Yes.
So, and understanding what's happening. So we are able to meet that need for one another. So for compatibility, it cuts across everywhere, every part of life. Your spirituality, financial, your ability to communicate. Because you know there are people who say things that they think they have communicated.
It's very true.
Anakwambia I want meat.
And I like the way you've given that example, because what if, in a scenario where, let's say, one person is compatible to the other, but the other one isn't, then how does that work? You know,
you're feeling comfortable that the person is compatible. For example, I'm compatible to you. So whatever you're doing is meeting my needs and I'm happy. But you're not compatible to me, so I am not meeting your needs. That is the partial compatibility. One person is compatible, the other person isn't.
Not compatible.
So the compatibility is the ability to meet the needs that I want and the ability for me to meet your needs that you want. Then we are able to work
together
to achieve
as
something.
The scissors.
Yes. So now when one person, their needs are being met and the other person, their needs are not being met, that's an issue right there.
Yeah.
That's a source of conflict between the relationship. Because you see, for me now, I'm happy.
Yes.
Yes, I'm content. I have everything that I want. So I'm wondering, what is your problem? Are your needs not being met? Why are you not happy? So when that is happening, we are in two different levels. Then we have the conflict. How to come to a similar ground is for you to communicate. And I come back to communication. When I tell you I want meat, how many types of meat do you know? There's chicken.
There's just chicken, fish.
There's fish.
Yes.
There's goat. There's cow.
There's cow.
All those are meat. So which meat do you want? So when you communicate to me and you tell me I would like to eat meat, in particular, I want to eat chicken. Not a goose, but a chicken.
Yes.
So we are communicating. So when there is that partial compatibility, then the person who isn't meeting the needs of the other person needs to listen to the other person. And the other person needs to articulate why their needs are not being met. So don't just say, I need meat. I need affection. What kind of affection do you need? Do you need an intimate conversation where we are sitting in the house flipping channels, Netflix? That's intimacy. Do you need intimacy that I'm holding your hand when we are walking on the streets? That intimacy. Do you want me to post your photo on my profile picture ya WhatsApp? Sema, what do you need?
So say it, you can't choose minds.
So that now I start fulfilling that gap that's missing. The best way to illustrate partial compatibility is a circle and a square. So the circle is inside the square.
Yeah.
So you are the square, I'm the circle because I'm the one who is compatible.
Yeah.
So you see, for me, the circle is complete.
Yes.
And whatever I need is being met. But for you, because you're the square, there are some gaps that are missing. There are some things that you need that I'm not fulfilling. So instead of trying to pull the circle to fit into the square, I need to adjust and come to where you are by that communication that I'm talking about, so that I fulfill the needs that you have, and then the relationship can be able to flourish from there.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you're an individual who, for example, like there's the square, there's the circle. So if I'm the square, and that means you're not meeting my needs, but you're meeting your needs.
Yes.
Is that like a red flag? That means like this relationship might not work for you. It's going to be one way.
It is. It is a very big red flag, and we ignore it. When people are dating, when people are going through dating, courtship, engagement, before you get to marriage, because there are three
I didn't even know those stages.
There are 3 steps before you get to marriage. You have to go through the 3 steps, and they are very different, and what's happening within the 3 steps is very different. So when you're dating, this is when you find out whether this person is compatible or not.
Yeah. When
you're interacting together, because that's when you're hanging out with other friends, that's when you're hiking, that's when you're going for drives, that's when you're doing now, that's when your interests are coming out. You know, what you value, what you want, what you enjoy, how you pass your leisure time when you're dating. That's when all those things should come out, right? But most of the times when we are dating, we put on a mask. I'm a very loud person, but because you're quiet, when I come around you,
you're just quiet.
Just quiet. Sasa, how long will I be quiet if we get to the point where we are married? So during the dating period, don't be scared to remove the mask. Be yourself. And during the dating period, you're not dating one particular person. Let me say this. It's very dangerous to say. But during the dating period, you're not supposed to be dating one person.
You're supposed to date several.
Yes. Find out.
Get a chance to pick.
We are communicating. This one likes yellow. Doesn't work for me. This one is a bit purple, maybe. Well, let me see. Then this one. Then eventually, as the dating goes on, as you discover, then the compatibility begins to come out.
Yes.
We are communicating. We are having a good time. I'm missing you. I like the way we spend. Now it starts becoming exclusive. Then you start now. You get into the other level.
Okay.
You come from dating. Now you get into, I've given you 3, which is the other
now
one.
to the dating. Now you move on to
guy.
I'm really lost because I was following up on following that story.
You come now from dating, now you get into the courtship.
Courtship,
where
yes.
now we are courting now.
Yes.
We are going deeper. The
It's
relationship
just
is
the two
not
of us
face
in the
value.
relationship,
Yes.
yes.
It's now deeper. I'm getting to know you as a person. Who are you? What do you stand for?
Yeah.
What do you value? Do you like children? Do you want to have children?
Those deep conversations
yes,
we get to understand.
That's where you come from. People get married or they just start cohabiting and living together. You see, now we start getting deeper into it and developing the relationship. Then once we are at a place where we are feeling, okay, I can work with this. I like where we are at.
Yeah.
Then you get engaged.
Engaged, okay.
Then I become betrothed and now we are completely exclusive. Now it is me and you. Now stepping out becomes a problem.
Yeah.
We become exclusive. We focus.
Yes.
Now when we get engaged, we start involving the families. You start involving your mom. You start involving your aunties. You start involving your brothers. You start involving. Now it becomes a family thing. The exclusivity becomes open.
Open, yeah.
It's no longer a relationship, just a relationship. Then you get into marriage.
Okay.
So that's how you find out during these stages of dating and relationships is where you find out your compatibility with someone. And if you have a flag of somewhere you see this person, when you talk, they tell you you're too loud. Don't ignore it because you'll not stop being loud because you've married
because
them.
of the person.
Yes.
And I like how you put that
Yes.
because I feel like, you know, sometimes even our mothers tell us you need to behave a certain way to attract
Yes.
a certain man, but you really just want to be yourself.
Yes.
Now, in situations, let's say, for example, my partner he's very outgoing. He wants to go out to, you know, travel, to restaurants, and I'm the complete opposite. I prefer just staying in the house and watching movies. So in terms of compatibility, does it mean me, this individual who likes to stay indoors, I have to now try and do what he likes just to be open and learn, and he does the same thing?
First of all, what I'm going to ask you is, does that person accept you the way you are? Because you see, being compatible does not mean we are the same.
Yes.
You also don't want somebody who is exactly the same as you.
Mtapelekana.
It will be a tug of war,
Yes.
it will be a war room.
Very true.
And then also you don't want to be a person who is extremely not like you. So what you're looking for is somebody who you can work with, where I can compromise, I can meet you halfway, where you are. And as much as I'm coming to meet your needs, you're also coming to meet my needs.
Yeah, it's not a one-way thing.
Yes, that's where the compatibility comes in.
Okay.
And that's why I gave you the differences in the sizes. And but the point here where you're meeting, are you able to work together? So if you're an outgoing person, I'm more of an introverted person. If I like what you're doing and I can be able to accompany you and enjoy it with you, then we are coming to a place where we are becoming compatible. And this person who is outgoing, if they can also come out of their comfort zone and become introverted a bit to accommodate you, not change who you are. We are not looking to change, you're not looking to change me, and I'm not looking to change you. We are looking to work together to achieve something.
Perfect.
You can be yourself, I can be myself, but we can come together and work towards a certain goal. But if there is that strain of where somebody...
I feel like someone is holding you back.
Yes, and pulling you back and forcing you, then that there is need for alarm. Yes, on my social media, I'm Nyokabi Kamau. You can find me on Facebook. I normally have very interactive conversations there. I do content creation on YouTube. If you're looking for more of this kind of things, I've done them on YouTube, and you can follow them there at Nyokabi Kamau.
Great. Thank you for that. I'm pretty sure you'll need that information because quarantine, with your baby in the house, trust me, you need to understand whether the two of you are compatible or not. We're going to take a short commercial break, but do not go anywhere because we have Real Talk coming up right next, giving you guys movie reviews to watch. We'll see you right after this.